Okay, I'd like to tell you a little bit about this mine. This was an actual coal mine, and it was called the Phillips Mine. Phillips family owned it. And they operated this mines for 20 years, from 1890 to 1910. Now the Phillips family was mining this seam of coal on the very bottom. And that's called the Sewell seam. And it runs anywhere from 28 to 34 inches high. So the whole mine was about as high as these cars. And them miners worked on their hands and knees all the time. Now this mine shut down in 1910 and it sat idle until 1958. The city of Beckley bought it. When city of Beckley bought this mine, it was only this high. The first thing they did, they hired a company to come in and shoot the rock from the top of these cars up to what you see today. So they could do tours in here. And this makes 62 years of doing tours in this mines. Now the Phillips family, when they had this mines, they had 30 miners that worked here. And those men worked 12-hour shifts. In 12 hours, each one of those miners could load about 10 of these one-ton cars of coal. Wow. You know how much they paid him to load a ton of coal in 1900?
$2 a day.
Well, you're pretty close. They paid him 20 cents a car. 20 cents a ton. Now, there was a stipulation with that. They had a board hanging down outside that hung down on 2 strings. And every car of coal that went out of this mines had to go under that board. If the coal didn't touch the board, there's not enough coal in this car. And they would dock him a few pennies. So instead of 20 cents, he might get 15 or 16. Now, as long as that coal hit the board when it went under, he got 20 cents. But the way this worked, back in those days, miners had these little round tags. And it's got a number stamped on it. Each miner had a number. And every time you loaded a car of coal, you'd reach in your pocket and get one of these little tags. You'd hang it on the car. A donkey or a mule would pull this car outside, and when it got outside, they had a man designated outside to collect the tags off them cars. He'd get the tag off the car and he'd put it in his pocket. The next car came out, he'd get the tag off of it and he'd put it in his pocket. He collected them tags all day long. Now at the end of the day, he laid those tags out in little piles, according to the number. And they could tell each man how many ton of coal he'd loaded that day. And he'd write that down on a piece of paper. And he'd give those tags back to you. So you could use them tomorrow. And that's how it worked. And it worked good for a while. Until this mine's got bigger and bigger and started spreading out. This mine goes for over 8 miles. Wow. Every now and then you'd have a car of coal sitting here loaded, waiting to go outside. Well, somebody'd slip over here and change the tag on it. Yeah, they'd steal your coal. And this got so bad in this mines that finally they had to do something to stop it. They told the miners to nail their tag to a piece of wood. Now when they brought you an empty car to load, you threw this piece of wood in that empty car. And you covered it up with your coal. So now they would take these cars outside and dump them. They'd look for that piece of wood. And they'd know which miner actually loaded that car of coal. That's pretty clever for 1900. I got a few things here I want to show you.